All right, a happy post-Thanksgiving greeting to you all. This is Matt with SRP Medical Marketing, and today I want to talk to you about creating demand for your cash-based medical practice. Okay, so I want to talk to you today about the difference between creating demand and creating desire. Now, how do you know? How do you know if you are you creating demand or you are creating desire? Well, you don't have to do a whole lot of introspection on it. Actually, all you have to do is just look at where you are today compared to last year at this time. So, it's now December, I don't know, 2nd. Yeah, December 2nd. And we're going to have kind of a short, condensed holiday season. And a lot of you are probably starting to take a look at the past year. And this is kind of one of those times a year where you just start to do a lot of reflection. We get a lot of time off. And you start to take a look at what has transpired over the last year. And you look at where you were last year at this time, and you look at where you are today. And, if you've made significant progress, if your business has grown 30% or 50%, then you feel like you're on the right track. You feel like then you're probably doing a much better job than most of creating demand. Okay, so if your business is growing and you're having people come into your clinic that they're ready to buy from you, there's very little selling that goes on. People are calling you out of the blue. They're walking in and they're readily willing and able, giving you money because they want you to do their procedure. They want them to do their anti-aging or regenerative medicine or men's or women's sexual health, whatever it is, right? So that's how you know you're creating demand, okay? If you are creating desire, then you're probably in the same place that you were last year at this time. You are probably witnessing very little growth. You're seeing your business is flat. It might be declining a little bit. And so that's how you can tell the difference between the two. And so today, what I want to do is I want to talk to you about creating demand, okay? So I want to talk to you about creating demand, okay? Now, how do you create demand? Well, I'm going to put something up here on the screen, and let me just get it here, what we do. And the reason why I'm doing this, you'll see in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to add this banner up, okay? And I'm going to show it. So here's the difference between demand and desire, okay? If you are creating demand, then you understand it's what you do before you make the offer that makes the prospect say yes. Okay, now I want you to kind of think about that again. And I want you to really, take a screenshot. I want you to write this down because this is the tenet of everything that I'm going to discuss. And I'm going to be, provided we have lots of people that have interest in this topic of creating demand for your medical practice and demand for your procedures, and creating demand so that when people walk in, they are ready to give you money, that there's little to no selling that goes on. If you are interested in that, then what I want you to do is I want you to type the word demand in the comments section below. And provided that we have enough interest, I will actually create some additional videos on this. If there's not any interest in creating more demand for your practice, then that's fine. That's great. Then I won't go out and waste a bunch of time and create these. But if you are interested in creating demand for your practice, then just type the word demand in the comment sections below. Okay. Now let's get back to this comment here. Let's get back to this quote or this statement, if you would. And it's what you do before you make the offer that makes the prospect say yes. Now, if you have kind of a traditional model, if you would, the traditional model for generating interest in your practice and generating patients is you hire an agency, a paid traffic agency. They run Facebook ads, they run paid ads, they drive them to a landing page, and you get a bunch of submissions and you try to call these people back and you can't get a hold of anybody. Or when you do, they don't necessarily remember who you are, or you just find it very difficult. You find yourself chasing them versus them chasing you. And that's what we want. We want them chasing you. You do not want to be the one that is chasing them, okay? So, and what happens is that you do this, you generate traffic, they do the form submit, you hope that they book. When they come in, they're not really ready to go. They're not really pre-qualified. They don't have any money. They want to think about it. You get a lot of what I call the think about it. So the I'll be backs, the be backs, okay? And what happens is that leads to a thing called struggle, depression, anxiety, stress, all of these things. And so what you want is you want to create demand, and you create demand by a couple of very simple ways. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this out so that you can see it. I'm going to draw it out in my little trusty dusty folder here. Is you want to create demand that looks like this, okay? And I'll show you this in a second, okay? This is, can you see that? Okay, so what we have here is we have top of funnel, okay? You have middle of funnel, and you have bottom of funnel. All right, now the challenge is that what most people do with, well, let me just do this. At the bottom of the funnel, it's the only place that we make offers, okay? It's the only place that you are allowed to make offers is at the bottom of the funnel. So what happens is that the top of the funnel and in the middle of the funnel, what happens is that we completely bypass the middle of the funnel. What happens with most people is they go from top of funnel, lead generation, they bypass the middle of the funnel and they go right to making offers. And what happens is your prospect you haven't created demand for your services. You haven't created demand for what you do. You're selling to desire. And, you know, a lot of people everybody has desires, but very few people have a real demand for that, what I like to call the bleeding neck. And so what we want to do is we want to create that engagement. We want to create that excitement. So what we do in the middle of the funnel is that we educate, okay? We excite, and that leads to demand. Okay, let me show you that right there. Whoops. So we want to educate right up here. Okay, we're going to excite them with results and things of that nature. And that's going to create demand so that when they walk in, they literally walk into the room and they say, I'm ready to go, doctor. You don't have to sell. You don't have to change if you're an introvert, you don't have to all of a sudden become an extrovert. If you hate selling, if you hate talking to people about money, any of those things, then what we want to do is we want to create an environment where there is demand. We want to create an environment where, you get to pick and choose who you do business with, okay, versus taking anybody that walks into the room, okay? So that's what we want to do. We want to create this demand. So, and I really want you to focus in on this. This is what we do before we make the offer that makes the prospect say yes. And that's what I'll talk about more in these additional videos, provided that you type the word demand in the comment sections below. So all I have to do is just type the word demand in the comment section below. And what I'll do is, provided that we have enough interest, I'll actually create more videos on this. If not, then I won't. That's fine. There has to be demand, okay? So if you want more videos on how to create demand in your practice, then just type the word demand in the comment section below. I'm going to be doing these, hopefully, if there's demand, throughout the month of December, so that you can create an opportunity where you are having, next year at this time, you're seeing your business go up like this and not down. You're seeing your business go up, not down or flat, okay? So again, keep this in mind. It's what we do before you make the offer that makes the prospect say yes. If you want to see more of this and you want to understand the difference between demand versus desire, then all I ask you to do is just type the word demand in the comment section below, and I will create more videos on this throughout the month and share my insights and lessons with you at just because I want to, be at no additional charge. So there you go. Type the word demand. That's what I have. Have a great Monday or rest of the week or whatever day you're watching this on. Thanks.